Hello, and a very warm, calm welcome to everyone listening right now.
Hello, everyone.
You are listening to Steady Step English. I am so happy you have chosen to spend this time with us today. Before we begin, I want you to just take a moment for yourself. Take a deep breath. Relax your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. This is a safe place. We are here to improve your English step by step. There is no rush. There is no pressure. Just listen and learn.
It is a pleasure to be here with you, and I am very excited to be here with all of you listening. I'm here to learn and practice just like you. I know that English can be, well, it can be tricky, even for advanced learners. There are those moments of doubt. Sometimes I feel nervous when I have to, navigate a complex situation in a second language. So I am very happy we have this calm space to analyze these things together.
That is wonderful. And, being nervous is actually a good sign. Yes. It shows that you care about communication. It shows you want to connect correctly. Today, we have a very, very important topic. It is something that sits right at the center of modern business. Today, we are doing a deep dive into the art of writing professional emails.
Emails. This is huge. It sounds simple, but it is actually quite complicated. Yeah. I write emails every single day for my job, and to be honest, I often worry. I worry about the tone. I worry that I might sound rude when I'm just trying to be quick. Or I worry that I sound weak when I'm trying to be polite. Sometimes I can spend 20 minutes just writing 3 sentences. I just stare at the screen, delete the words, write them again. It can be very stressful.
I understand completely. And you are not alone. So many of our listeners feel exactly the same way. Writing to a boss or a client or colleague you have never met, it's just different from writing to a friend. We want to be polite, we want to be professional, but we also want to sound like a real person.
Yes.
We do not want to sound like a machine, and we certainly do not want to sound aggressive.
Exactly. That is my biggest fear. I don't want to sound like a robot. I want to sound like me. But sometimes when I try to be formal, I think I lose my personality. I sound cold. Or I sound like I am translating directly from my native language, and the result is just awkward.
That is what we are going to explore today. We are going to learn how to write a professional email that is clear, polite, and human. We will stop the robot voice. But to start, I want to share a specific scenario. This is an example of a bad email. It is what happens when we focus only on the information and forget the human on the other side. Are you ready to hear the robot email?
I am ready. I see these kinds of emails all the time, and I'm always curious about how we can fix them.
Okay. Imagine you open your inbox. You see an email from a colleague you do not know very well. The subject line is empty. You open the message. It says, "Dear Sir, I want report."
Oh, yikes. Dear Sir, I want report. It feels very harsh.
It does, doesn't it?
Yes, it feels aggressive. It is too direct. It sounds like a demand. Okay. It sounds like a king talking to a servant. Or, like we said, a robot. There's no feeling in it. It just says, give me what I want.
Exactly. It is cold, it is robotic, and sadly, it is very common. The person sending this probably thinks they are being efficient. They think, I need the report, so I will ask for the report. Why waste words? But in English business culture, this style is too strong. It can make the other person feel bad. It can make them resistant to helping you.
I can see that. If I received that email, I would feel unappreciated. I might send the report, but I certainly wouldn't prioritize it. I would feel like a transaction, not a colleague. But let me ask a question here. What if the person is just in a hurry? Is it really that bad to be direct?
That is a valid question. Efficiency is important. However, in English, we distinguish between being efficient and being curt. Curt means being rudely brief. You can be short and polite, but I want report is short and rude. It ignores the social contract between two people.
The social contract, that is an interesting way to look at it. So we are not just exchanging information. We are maintaining a relationship.
Precisely. Every email is a small piece of relationship building. So that is our mission today. We are going to take that robotic message, "Dear Sir, I want report," and we are going to transform it. We will change it into a beautiful, professional, human email. And we will do this using a structured approach.
I like structure. A structure helps me feel safe. It gives me a map to follow so I don't have to guess.
Exactly. A map is a perfect way to describe it. So let's begin with the very first thing anyone sees when they receive a message. Let's talk about section 1, the subject line.
The subject line. Okay, that's the short title at the top. You mentioned in the bad example that the subject line was empty. I assume that is a major mistake.
Yes, it is a critical mistake. The subject line is so important. It tells the receiver what the email is about. It helps them decide if they should open it now or later. It helps them search for it 3 weeks later. An empty subject line says, I am disorganized, or maybe this is not important.
Okay, so we need a subject line, but I have a question. I often see subject lines that are just one word, like question or hello, is that enough?
That is a great question. The worst subject line after an empty one is a vague subject line.
Vague.
Vague means not clear. Question is vague. Hello is vague. Urgent is vague. And, well, a bit stressful.
Well, why are they bad? Question seems accurate if I have a question.
Well, think about the receiver. Imagine a busy manager. They have 100 emails in their inbox. If they see an email that just says question, they don't know what it is. Is it a question about lunch? Is it a question about $1 million contract? They don't know. It creates mental work for them. They have to open it just to figure out the priority.
That makes sense. Hello could be anything. It creates friction.
Yes.
We want to reduce friction, so we need to be specific.
Yes. Clarity is key. A good subject line is a short summary. It should be B1 level English, simple and direct. For example, instead of question, you could write question about the monthly report.
Question about the monthly report.
Okay.
That is very clear. The manager knows exactly what I need and which project it concerns.
Correct. Or if you want to have a meeting, don't just write meeting. Write meeting request, Tuesday project update.
Meeting request, Tuesday project update.
That sounds very professional. It gives the what a meeting and the why the project update.
Exactly. You are labeling the content. Now, what about when things are urgent? You mentioned you worry about sounding rude. If something is actually urgent, how do we say that in the subject line without screaming?
That is a tough one. I usually just type urgent in capital letters, but I feel like I am shouting.
Yes. Capital letters usually feel like shouting in English. A better way is to use brackets. You can write urgent in brackets, followed by the specific topic. For example, urgent approval needed for budget.
The brackets make it look like a label, not a scream. That is a very useful tip.
Yeah.
What about if the email is not urgent at all? What if I just want to send some information, but I don't need a reply?
That is a very thoughtful approach. You can use FYI. FYI.
For your information.
Right. It stands for your information. You can put that at the start of the subject line. FYI, update on client call. FYI. That signals to the reader, you can read this later, no pressure. I like that. It respects their time.
It helps the other person organize their day. It shows you respect their workload. You're making it easy for them.
Make it easy for them. That is a good rule for emails.
It is the best rule. Now let's imagine the manager has clicked on your email. They have opened it. Now they see the first line of the message. This brings us to section 2, the salutation.
The salutation, the greeting. In our robotic example, the person wrote, Dear Sir, all in capital letters.
Dear Sir. Now, 50 or 60 years ago, this might have been the standard. But today, in modern international business, Dear Sir is. It's a problem.
Why is it a problem? Is it rude?
It is not exactly rude, but it is very old-fashioned. It feels distant. It feels like you don't know who you were talking to. But there is a bigger problem. Sir implies a man.
Right. And we don't know if the reader is a man or a woman.
Exactly. If you write, Dear Sir, to a female boss, you are starting with a mistake. It shows you did not check who they are. It creates a disconnect immediately.
Right.
It makes you sound like a form letter sent by a computer that hasn't been updated since 1990.
I see. It creates a wall between people. So what should we use instead? I sometimes see Dear Sir or Madam. Is that better?
Dear Sir or Madam is slightly better because it includes women, but it is still very stiff. It is what you use if you are writing to a company complaint department and you have absolutely no idea who will read it. But if you are writing to a colleague or a client, you should know their name.
Okay, so knowing the name is key. What is the modern alternative to Dear Sir?
The best modern alternative is very simple. You can use hi followed by the person's name, or dear followed by the person's name.
Wait, can I use hi in a business email? I thought hi was only for friends. In my culture, we are very formal with business partners.
That is a very common worry, and cultural standards do vary. But in most English-speaking business cultures today, the US, the UK, Australia, Canada, hi is perfectly acceptable. It is friendly and professional. For example, hi, David.
Hi, David. Okay, that feels nice. It feels like we are colleagues working on the same level.
Exactly. It removes the hierarchy and focuses on collaboration. If you want to be a little more formal, or if it is the first time you are emailing them, you can use dear, for example. Dear David.
Dear David. Okay, so dear is safer if I am unsure.
Yes, dear is safe. Hi is friendly. Both are correct.
What about Mr. or Mies? Should I say dear Mr. Smith?
You can if the environment is very, very formal. For example, if you are emailing a bank, a government office, or perhaps a very traditional law firm. But in most companies, especially in tech, marketing, or general international business, using the first name is the standard. It is part of the human touch.
Okay, so in our robot email, we are deleting dear sir, and we are replacing it with hi name. Let's say, hi David.
Perfect. Hi, David. Much better. Now, what about when we are writing to a group? This is a situation I find tricky. If I am emailing my whole team, I can't write, hi, David and Sarah and Michael and...
Right, that would take forever. I usually write hi all. Is that okay?
Hi, all is perfect. It is inclusive. Or, hi, team.
Hi team. I like that. It builds a sense of belonging.
Exactly. Just try to avoid, hi, guys.
Why avoid hi guys? I hear that a lot in movies.
Guys is very casual, and some people feel it is male-specific, even though it is often used for everyone. Hi, team, or hi, everyone, is more professional and inclusive.
That is a great nuance. Okay, so we have hi David. We have said hello. Do we just jump straight to business? Do we immediately say, I want the report?
No. That still feels a little fast. It feels like walking up to someone's desk and shouting a question without saying, good morning. We need a bridge. We need something to connect the hello to the business.
Yeah.
This brings us to section 3, the pleasantry.
The pleasantry. I like that word. It sounds pleasant. But I have to be honest. Sometimes I feel like this is a waste of time. I know David is busy. I am busy. Why do we need this small talk in an email? Isn't it just fluff?
That is a valid perspective. It is technically fluff if you only care about data. But humans are not computers. We care about social connection. A pleasantry is a social lubricant. It makes the gears of the conversation turn smoothly without friction. It shows that you see the other person as a human being, not just a vending machine that gives reports.
A vending machine, I definitely don't want to treat David like a vending machine, so it is like smiling before you ask a question.
Yes. In an email, we cannot see your face. We cannot hear your voice tone. We cannot see that you are smiling. So we have to use words to create that smile.
Can you give me a simple example? I worry about being too creative here. I don't want to ask about their family or their personal life if I don't know them well. That feels intrusive.
You are right. You don't need to be personal. You just need to be polite. There is one golden phrase that works in almost every situation. It is simple, safe, and professional.
Ooh, I like golden phrases. Tell me.
The phrase is, I hope you are well.
I hope you are well.
Yes, it is simple. I hope you are well.
Do I need an answer to this? If I write, I hope you are well, does David need to write back and tell me about his health? Like, actually, my back hurts and I have a cold.
No.
Yeah.
That is the funny thing about English pleasantries. It is not a real question. It is just a ritual. It is a polite opening. David will not tell you about his back pain. He will just think, oh, that person is polite, and he will keep reading.
That is good to know. So it is just a signal of friendliness.
Exactly. It softens the tone.
Are there other options? What if I am writing on a Monday or a Friday? Can I use the day of the week?
Absolutely. Using the time of the week makes it feel very current and human.
Yeah.
On Monday, you can say, I hope you had a good weekend.
I hope you had a good weekend. That is nice. It acknowledges that they have a life outside of work.
And on Friday, you could say, I hope you've had a good week. Or simply, Happy Friday.
Happy Friday is very common in the US, right?
Yes, it is very common and very friendly. It brings a little bit of joy in the inbox.
But what if I have met them recently? For example, we had a meeting yesterday. Can I reference that?
That is actually the best kind of pleasantry. It is specific. You can say, it was great to see you yesterday. Or, thanks for the meeting on Tuesday.
That connects the email to our real life relationship. I like that. But if I am stuck, I can always go back to the golden phrase.
Yes. I hope you are well. Never fails. So let's look at our email now. Before, it was, Dear Sir, I want report. Now, how does it start?
Now it starts. Hi, David. I hope you are well.
Beautiful. Can you hear the difference?
Yes, it is completely different. The first one is a robot or a drill sergeant. The second one is a colleague. Hi, David. I hope you are well. It makes me feel calm.
And when the reader feels calm, they are more likely to say yes to your request. They are more likely to help you. And that leads us to the most critical part. Section 4, the ask. This is the core request, the reason you are writing the email.
This is the hard part. This is where the grammar gets tricky for me. In the robot email, the person wrote, I want report.
I want report, or sometimes send me report.
Send me. My English teacher in school taught me I want. It is one of the first verbs we learn. I want an apple. I want to go home. Why is it bad here?
Grammatically, I want is correct, subject verb. But socially, I want sounds like a demand. It sounds like a child.
A child.
I want a cookie. I want a toy. Or it sounds like a king. I want my horse.
A child or a king. I am not a king. And I don't want to sound like a child. I am a professional. So how do we fix I want?
We need to use softer language. We need to use polite structures. The best replacement for I want is the phrase, I would appreciate.
I would appreciate. That is a long word. Appreciate.
Yes, let's say it slowly. Appreciate.
Appreciate.
Yeah, I would appreciate means I would be thankful for. It turns a demand into a polite wish. It puts the focus on your gratitude rather than your desire.
So instead of I want the report, I say I would appreciate the report.
Yes. Or even better, we connect it to an action using if you could. But before we do that, let's look at the other robot phrase, send me.
Send me. That is an imperative, a command.
Exactly.
Sit down. Eat this. Send me.
Yes. In English, we almost never use the imperative form with colleagues unless it is an emergency like run or watch out. You cannot give commands to your boss or your client. It implies you have power over them.
So even if I am the boss, I should avoid commands.
Yes. Even bosses today use polite requests. It builds better morale. To fix the command, we need the magic of modal verbs.
Modal verbs. These are words like can, could, would, may.
Yes. They are magic because they take the power out of the command. They make it a question. Instead of send me, we say, could you please send me? Or could you forward?
Could you forward? Forward is a great word for emails, isn't it?
Yes. Forward specifically means to send a document or email you received to another person. It is very professional. So let's look at the transformation.
Yeah.
Robot. Send me report. Human. Could you forward the report?
Could you forward the report? That sounds so much better. It respects the other person's choice. It asks them. It doesn't force them.
Exactly. Now, let's combine the two fixes. We can make a very polite, very professional sentence. I would appreciate it if you could forward the report.
Whoa. That is a long sentence. It is very polite, but is it? Is it too long?
It is long, but it is standard for a formal request. It is very soft. Let's break it down. Part 1, I would appreciate it.
I would appreciate it.
Part 2, if you could.
If you could.
Forward the report.
Forward the report.
Now let's put it all together slowly.
Yeah.
I would appreciate it if you could. Forward the report.
I would appreciate it if you could forward the report.
Excellent. How does that feel to say?
It feels sophisticated. It feels like I'm wearing a suit and tie when I say it.
It is a very powerful structure. If you use this, you will never sound rude.
I have a tricky situation. What if David is late? What if I asked him for the report 3 days ago and he didn't send it? If I say, I would appreciate it if you could forward the report.
Yeah.
It sounds like I am asking for the first time. Can I be a little firmer without being a robot?
That is a very real situation. You need to chase him. You need to nudge him. In this case, we need to acknowledge the previous request. You can say, I am writing to follow up on the report.
Follow up. That is a great phrasal verb.
Yes. Follow up is business code for I am reminding you. It is neutral. I am writing to follow up.
And can I ask, when will you send it?
When will you send it can sound a bit aggressive, like a parent asking a child. A softer way is, could you please let me know when I can expect it?
When I can expect it. That is clever. It puts the focus on my expectation, not on his failure.
Exactly. It is all about shifting the focus.
Okay, what about if I have to say no? Imagine David asks me for something and I cannot do it. The robot would say, no, I cannot.
No. I cannot. That is a relationship breaker. We need the soft no.
The soft no. How do we do that?
We usually start with an apology, even if it's not our fault. Unfortunately, I cannot do that.
Unfortunately. That is a good buffer word.
Or, I am afraid I cannot help with this. I am afraid doesn't mean you were scared. It is a polite way of saying, I am sorry to tell you.
I am afraid I don't have the report. That sounds much better than I don't have it.
Precisely. It manages the emotional reaction of the other person.
So we have the subject line, the greeting, the pleasantry, the ask. Now we need to finish. We need to say goodbye.
That is correct. We are at section 5, the sign-off.
In the past, I learned to write sincerely, or yours truly. My textbooks had yours faithfully if I didn't know the name. Are these okay?
Like, dear sir, sincerely is not wrong, but it is very formal. It is a bit old. It is what you write to a lawyer or when you are applying for a job at a very traditional company. Or maybe a resignation letter.
Oh, a resignation letter. Serious business.
Yes. But for day-to-day emails, sincerely creates distance. It feels a little cold.
I don't want to be cold. I want to be friendly, professional. What are my options?
There are 2 very good options that work for almost everyone. The first one is best regards.
Best regards.
Yes, regards. It is safe. It works for your boss. It works for your client. It works for your colleague. It is professional, but not stiff. It says, I wish you the best.
Best regards. That is easy to say. It flows nicely.
It does. Sometimes people just shorten it to regard.
Regards, is that okay?
Regards is okay, but it's a little bit drier, a little bit shorter. Best regards has more warmth.
And if I want to be even friendlier, maybe if I know the person well, what can I use?
You can use warmly.
Warmly, like the temperature. Warm.
Yes, it means you are sending warm feelings. Warmly. It is very nice, very human. It is great for colleagues you have a good relationship with.
Warmly. I like that. What about cheers? I work with some people in the UK and they always sign off with cheers.
Cheers is very common in British and Australian English. It is very friendly and casual. It's like saying thanks and bye at the same time. If you are emailing someone in London, cheers is perfect.
Yeah.
If you are emailing a strict bank in New York, maybe stick to best regards.
Context matters. I think I will stick with best regards for now as my default. It feels like a good standard.
That is a wise choice. It is the black blazer of sign-offs. It goes with everything.
I have seen some people just write best. Is that okay?
Best is very common now.
Yeah.
It is quick. It is efficient. It is okay if you know the person very well. But for a first email, best regards is better. It feels more complete.
Got it. So let's look at the whole picture. We are at section 6, review hitting send.
Let's do a side-by-side comparison. This is the before and after.
Okay, the before email, the robot email, subject, empty, message. Dear sir, I want report.
Oh, it sounds so painful now. It sounds like a telegram from 1920.
It really does. I would be afraid to send that now. I can feel the rudeness.
Now let's read the after email, the steady step email.
Okay, here we go. Subject, question about the monthly report. Hi, David. I hope you are well. Could you please forward the monthly report? Best regards, John.
Wow, that is perfect.
It feels lighter. It feels polite. It feels clear.
And the best part, it communicates the exact same request. You are still asking for the report, but you are doing it in a way that builds the relationship rather than destroying it.
That is the key. You don't need to be a poet. You don't need complex vocabulary. You just need the structure. 1, clear subject. 2, hi name. 3, hope you are well. 4, I would appreciate. 5, best regards. I feel much more confident now.
Me too.
Before, I would stare at the screen wondering, is this okay? Now I have a checklist.
Confidence, that is the goal. When you have the tools, you can hit the send button without fear. You know you're being professional. You know you're being kind.
Hit send with confidence. I love that.
We have covered a lot of ground today. We took a scary robotic email and turned it into a professional connection. It is amazing how small changes in words can make a big change in feeling.
It really is. I think the biggest lesson for me is that business English is not about big, difficult words. It is about softness. It is about could you instead of do this. It is about recognizing the human on the other side of the screen.
Absolutely. Softness shows respect, and respect builds good relationships, and good relationships make your job easier.
Could you summarize everything we learned today, just so I can remember the main points clearly?
Of course. I will speak slowly so everyone can let these points sink in. Here is our summary of today's deep dive. First, we learned to write a clear subject line so the reader knows what we need. Second, we replaced Dear Sir with a friendly hi and the person's name. Third, we added a pleasantry like, I hope you are well, to show the human touch. Fourth, we changed direct orders like, I want, into polite requests using could you or I would appreciate. Finally, we close with a modern sign-off like best regards.
That is a perfect list. I'm going to write that down.
That is a great idea. Visual reminders are very helpful when we are learning.
Now, I think it is time for one of my favorite parts. We use some very specific words today. Some of them might be new for our listeners.
You are right. It is time for the vocabulary word tour. We have selected 10 key words from our discussion today. We will define them and give you an example.
Listeners, this is your chance to solidify your learning. Listen to the word, listen to the meaning, and listen to the example.
Let's begin. Our first word is robot.
The definition is a machine that does work automatically. Here, it means sounding cold or without emotion.
And an example. Don't write like a robot. Use friendly words.
The next word, structure.
Definition. The way parts of something are arranged or organized.
Example. A good email follows a clear structure, greeting, body, and sign-off.
Next up, subject line.
Definition. The short title at the top of an email that tells you what it is about.
Example. Always write a clear subject line before you send an email.
And our fourth word, salutation.
Definition. The word or phrase used to say hello at the beginning of a letter or email.
Example. Hi, John is a common salutation in English emails.
Word number 5. Pleasantry.
Definition. A polite remark used to start a conversation in a friendly way.
Example. I hope you are well is a standard pleasantry.
Next, we have appreciate.
Definition. To be thankful for something.
Example. I would appreciate your help with this project.
Our 7th word. Forward.
Definition. To send an email or document you received to another person.
Example. Could you please forward the meeting notes to me?
And word number 8 is sign off.
Definition. The words used to say goodbye at the end of an email.
Example. He chose best regards as his sign off.
Almost there. Word 9. Confident.
Definition. The feeling that you can do something well.
Example. After practicing, she hit the send button with confidence.
And our final word today, warmly.
Definition. In a friendly or kind way.
Example. She ended her email with the word warmly. Thank you. That was a great review. I really like the word appreciate. It is useful in so many situations.
It is. It is a word that instantly makes you sound polite.
I feel much better about opening my inbox tomorrow morning. I have my structure. I have my vocabulary. I am ready to stop being a robot.
I am so glad to hear that. And I hope all of you listening feel the same way. Remember, writing is a skill. It takes practice. Don't be hard on yourself. Just try to use one of these tips in your next email. Maybe just start with, I hope you are well. Small steps lead to big changes.
That is true. Small steps, steady steps.
Exactly. That is why we are here. That's it for today. Remember, every minute you spend listening is a step closer to fluency. If you enjoyed this lesson, please subscribe and join our learning community. Before you go, I have a challenge for you. Write one new word you learned today in the comment field below. I will see you at our next episode at Steady Step English.